Start on 21, I believe. 23 and 21. So the way I quit smoking, because I smoked for about 14 years of my life, right? And I'm just in my late 20s. So the way I quit smoking, I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it little by little. I kept saying, oh, tomorrow, the next day, and I kept putting it off. So the way I did it was I made a promise to the Most High, right? And that made me think, or made me feel in my spirit that I couldn't break that promise, right? Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23 and verse 21. When thou shalt vow a vow unto the Lord thy God, thou shalt not slack to pay it.
So when you make a promise to the Most High, though, you cannot slack to pay it, right? Go ahead.
For the Lord thy God will surely require it of thee.
Because the Most High is going to require it of you, right? Just like if you borrow money from somebody, they're going to require it back from you, right? Go ahead.
And it would be a sin in thee.
And it'll be a sin in you if you don't keep that vow, if you don't keep that promise, right? Go ahead.
But if thou shalt forbear to vow, it shall be no sin in thee.
But if you do keep your vow, it won't be a sin in you, right? So you got to keep that promise. So give me Ecclesiastes 5 and 4. Ecclesiastes 5 and 4. So if you feel the need to, like I did, I made that promise to the Most High I wasn't going to smoke no more. And all praise to the Most High for that. I haven't smoked in over a year, going on. How long you been married, Doc?
About a year.
About a year. So more than a year since I last smoked, right? So go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5 and verse 4. When thou vowest a vow unto God, defer not to pay it, for he hath no pleasure in fools.
So the Most High just said you're a fool if you make a promise to him and you don't keep it. Because like it said in Deuteronomy, it's a sin if you don't keep that promise, right? Go ahead.
Pay that which thou hast vowed.
So pay what you have vowed, right? Because just like I said, if you borrow money from somebody and you promise them, I'm going to pay you back, right? According to the scriptures, you're not supposed to go and ask for that money. They're supposed to pay it to you, right? So you know the Most High knows for sure, right? He's omnipotent. He knows everything. You know he knows that you made that vow. And you know in the back of your head that you made that vow too. And like it said in Deuteronomy, it's a sin if you don't keep that vow, right? So read that last verse one more time.
When thou vowest a vow unto God, defer not to pay it, for he hath no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed.
So plain and simple, in plain English, he's saying, don't be a fool. If you make a promise to the Most High, you better keep that promise, right? So give me Psalms 66, start on 13. 66 and 13. So this is the Most High letting you know, if you make a promise to him, and we've all made promises to the Most High. When do most people make promises to the Most High? It's when they're in trouble, right? It's when they're in trouble. Things are going bad. Some people may not even believe in God. Some people may not ever even pray. But then when it comes down to a bad situation, and who do they run to? The Most High, right? They're going to start praying, even though they've never been praying their whole life. But when things go bad, they know there's a God, right? So this is David kind of explaining that. Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 66, and verse 13. I will go into thy house with burnt offerings. I will pay thee my vows.
So this is David saying he will go into his house with burnt offerings and pay his vows that he vowed to the Most High, right? Go ahead.
Which my lips have uttered and my mouth hath spoken.
Which he uttered to the Most High. He spoke it to the Most High. Go ahead.
When I was in trouble.
When he was in what?
Trouble.
When he was in trouble. So a lot of people make promises to the Most High. Oh, please, just get me out of this situation, and I'm gonna stop doing this, or I'm gonna stop drinking if you just get me out of this messed up situation, right? A lot of people do that when they're in trouble. Go ahead, keep going.
I will offer unto thee burnt sacrifices of fatlings, with the incense of rams. I will offer bullocks with goats, Salah.
So he's saying he will offer all of these things, right? Because back in the days, they would give burnt offerings, right? But now the offerings that we give are prayer and repentance and faith, right? And giving up things that are wicked that we're doing in our life, right? So go ahead and read 66:13 one last time.
I will go into thy house with burnt offerings. I will pay thee with my vows. Salakia, I will pay thee my vows.
So he will pay his vows, right?